Hi.
Hi.
Hello. So excited to have you.
I'm excited to be here.
Yay. You are a brand new friend to me, and I just think we have had so many potent, important, synchronistic conversations, and I want to be able to talk more about it because I think your origin story is so important to speak to. I'm like, all right, let's dive into things, let's talk more about
so many micro conversations that are like, oh my gosh, it needs to be a bigger publicly shared conversation.
Yes. So I would just love to know about your background that can tie into your business, all of those things. We'll start there.
For sure. I started blogging back in the early 2000s. I was a mama of many, and my friends did not have kids yet. It was very isolating. It was very lonely. And I needed an outlet. I needed a form of catharsis, and somebody told me that they started blogging, and I was like, what is that? That sounds like logging, and I'm not, no. So he explained it to me, and I was like, oh my gosh, what? You can tell your stories and connect with other people, and people want to read that?
You're like, hell yeah.
That's amazing. So I didn't even, the term mom blogging was not even coined yet back then. It was just blogging communities had already been set up. So I joined this blogging community, and we would all read each other's content and respond, and it was amazing. And then mom blogging became a thing, and it quickly was picked up on by corporate to realize that moms were talking about their life stories and just naturally integrating brands into their story. And they were like, oh, we can make money off of this. And so, a lot of moms became mom bloggers, now referred to as influencers. And brands wanted to create campaigns. And I wanted to help them create campaigns that benefited both people, that were very symbiotic. It would benefit the company, yes, but it would also benefit the mom. Because a lot of moms were agreeing to work or write for exposure or free product. And I was like, that doesn't sit well with me. So I started working with a couple of agencies that were very new, emerging agencies in the influencer mom bloggers to create campaigns. And then at the same time, I built a mom blogger network. I called it Social Media Moms because then by then, like, Twitter was happening, Facebook was happening. So I saw a need and for moms to learn about how to properly monetize, how to work with brands, how to integrate personal life with professional life, and that's where it all started. And I still love storytelling to this day. I will always love the storytelling component, and I think it is the most powerful thing that brands can do and people can do to maintain that connection.
I love that. And I know that when you have spoken to some of the connections that you've had even through the industries, I'd love for you to just speak on like some of the people that maybe you had worked for that all of a sudden it felt like maybe this wasn't as aligned, or you started just getting those pings of like, okay, this felt like really purposeful and powerful work, but all of a sudden something feels like disconnected. Almost a little bit about that.
Yeah, so once I segued out of like more to be community-based and into corporate, like after I got divorced, it became very necessary to have an adult job, a full-time job that was sustainable so I could get my own place, so I could have my kids. And that was when I decided to transition into more corporate roles full-time. And while I had already had a decade of experience with creating campaigns and doing those things, nobody ever talked to me about the difference between capability and capacity. I had the experience. I was very smart. I was really freaking good at what I did by that point. But I also had 7 adult children, and I got pregnant with my 8th.
Wow.
My oldest daughter got pregnant with hers, her first. So we were living together. So it was like this communal thing that created a lot of limitations. But instead of knowing what capability and capacity were and seeing how they fit into my life, because I also didn't know about human design yet, did not know about the nervous system yet.
Later.
A lot later, I took on these roles because I was looking at the money. I was like, this is what I need to survive. This is what I have to do. No question of how is this going to affect my nervous system? How does this fit into my life, with my life's purpose, with my human design that I didn't know about? And I very quickly noticed that there is a disconnect with how I was designed to work. Sorry.
It's okay.
There was a disconnect with how I'm designed to be and how corporate America is designed to be. Hustle culture, hustle, burn yourself out. You're valuable if you are a top performer, if you're willing to burn yourself out. And I accepted that for a few years until I hit menopause. Everything changed when I hit menopause. Not because I finally woke up, but because my body said, fuck this, you're done, or you're going to die. Which is it? I had no choice at that point.
And you needed to listen.
I finally listened. It had been whispering, and I'd been ignoring it, and things got worse.
That's how it starts.
Until I found myself face down on the ground, crying, very drunk, very done.
And I think that not only integrates the piece of, yes, as women, our bodies are changing, but then additionally where you were at in your also mental health experience at that point too. And from that point, like from that moment of like, I'm face down, I'm done, you know, where did things shift for you? Was it a moment in that time, or was it just like a matter of a couple of days or a couple of months? What started like bringing some sort of glimmer back to the experience?
Good question. It wasn't even all at once. It was still a process of having to relearn, because at first I quit my job. I had to go into an intensive outpatient program because I did not want to be here anymore. And I didn't even know I was going through menopause, by the way. I mean, nobody ever said menopause. I knew I hadn't had a period in, months. But no one ever said, like, have you had your hormones checked? You know, talked about nervous system healing, the vagus nerve, the splanchnic nerve. None of that was discussed. It was go to IOP, you go to, a few sessions a week for 6 hours a day. And at the end of it, you graduate and you take these pills and you go to therapy, you follow up with your therapist and psychiatrist. So it was very much framed as like, this is a season of your life, not you're going through transformation. You are burning it the fuck down right now, and you're going to do this several times in your life. And so I, in my mind, was like, oh, this is fine. I'll take these drugs, and I'll be able to go back to work eventually, and I'll go right back into the same thing. So I did. I tried it a few more times, and it ended horribly. And I was thinking, what is wrong with me? I don't understand why I can't do this without burning the hell out. And I remember it was during COVID. I was working from home almost 60 hours a week because we had to change all of our strategy for every client. And we had very large clients who were very demanding, and I understand that. I had 6 kids living with us at home, and we were getting ready to move. My daughter and granddaughter were starting kindergarten. I was not okay yet again. And it just wasn't sustainable for me. And instead of thinking like, I can't do this anymore, or I have to fix something, I have to perform harder and push through, something had to change. And it took a few more times of trying to go back to that same environment and withering to finally realize I'm done. And I mean, this is like up to a couple of months ago, right before I met you, where I was at a job for a month. It took me a month to be like, oh no, I'm not doing this. I cannot do this. I am done. So yeah, it took quite a while for me to finally learn that lesson. And it was really serendipitous that we met at the same time, because we were talking about the wellness guide, senior social media, and I was like, this is amazing. Like I love the purpose behind it. I love to do things with purpose. And watching you talk about it, and then coming in here when I was just, after I left that job, I was very low again. Couldn't even wash my hair for a few weeks. Like it was bad. And being afraid to ask for help, feeling unworthy to ask for help, but knowing I had just left a job, and so now my funds are depleted. I was like, okay, I can either ask for help, or I can stay stuck in this with my pinched nerve and my greasy hair and just push through yet again. And I can't keep doing that. That's not sustainable.
And I think our connection was like, it dropped in was when it was meant to, because, you spoke to something on my social media, and then we're like, oh my gosh, I was able to get an appointment, and I saw you literally days later. The energy that we had initially in that connection, and I resonated so much with what you were speaking to, because that's where I was, just a few short years ago when I was trying to create these experiences. Yes, these head spa experiences for me, they've existed for 6 years, but they've only caught social media attention in the last few. But it's not a trendy thing for me. It was, I want to take care of the person, the whole person. Where are they? Where are they in their mental health journey? All of that. And because I saw so much of me in you, you know, it was like attracting the person that I was like, yes, like, let me take care of you and release the shame of feeling like, you know, oh, you have to hold this on your own, or it's not okay to have dirty hair. Like, you were having physical symptoms because of not only what could have happened because of that physical symptom, but also the stress that comes with what led up to that point. And then being able to say, like, okay, I deeply desire this care and I'm going to receive it. I'm choosing for myself to receive this care, and because of the way that I have the mental health session set up, that was able to be affordable for you, which is incredible. That's what they're there for. Yeah. So if you're open to it, just speaking to that, like, you know, those little bits of internal conversation that you have enlightened for me, maybe that's around shame, maybe that's around, you know, other things that may have led you up to coming in or amidst that experience, what that was like for you.
For sure. I think a lot of women are raised in the same environment dynamic, call it what you will, of being the caretaker. You're not really allowed to have needs, much less wants. Having a want is crazy talk. Like, what do you mean? You want to go get a manicure, you want to go get scalp care. Like, that is wild. That's not what you need, much less what, you know, if you want it, like, that's okay, wait for Christmas or whatever, you know. And I was raised by women who very much had that same mindset. They were caretakers and would burn themselves out all the time and call it love and call it our duty. And I was sharing with you that there was this, I call it the red button moment now, with my grandmother, who's now 92, living in an assisted living facility, paying a lot of money to live in this place so that people can help her. And we were talking on the phone the other day, and something wasn't working in her apartment. And I said, well, why don't you just press the button? Because she's got a red button that she can press when she needs help. She was like, no, I don't want to bother them. And I was like, what? What do you mean? Oh. And then she said something else during the conversation that was like an oh shit moment for me, which was, I wish I would have stood up for myself more. And all along, for 47 years, I've been watching this woman, growing up with this woman, watching her caretake and do things, and I thought she loved it. I thought it was coming from genuine desire, and it filled her cup. And when she said that statement, I was like, oh, hell no. Will not do that. Yep. I'm not going down that road.
No.
She's afraid to push a red button
for help. And she's paying a lot of money to be there.
That she's paying for and deserves and needs and wants. And is very afraid to press that red button for. And she's sitting there at the same time and saying, I wish I would have stood up more for myself. Yeah. You can't press that red button because you never did stand up for yourself because of the conditioning that we're not allowed to have needs and wants. So going back to your point, your question, there was a lot of internal dialogue in my head.
Totally.
That was like, you're not broke, okay? There are people that probably need this way more than you.
Yes.
This is not a need, it's a want. And also, this person doesn't know you. You're going, like in the past, my daughter is an esthetician. She would, when I lived near her, she would help me with things. And to go to a stranger that I don't have a relationship with, greasy head, like just pinched nerve, not really doing that great, riding the struggle bus, and I drive the bus in here, what if I'm judged? And then talking about the experience, like it was wonderful. The experience itself, like, you were so gentle with me. You made me feel so seen and that it was okay. You know, it was so refreshing. I literally cried afterwards. And I just thought, like, everybody deserves this. Like, we are deserving of care. And it was so powerful to be in here with you and to just be able to not be okay and to have somebody else take care of me without having to feel guilty, but I did have to fight those thoughts in my mind.
Absolutely. I mean, again, it's like those exact internal thoughts were my exact internal thoughts, which is why I didn't go. And it's like I tried to reach out to industry professionals to like help me through that dark time. But the challenge is like it wasn't an intimate environment. I was walking into a luxury salon that is stimulating, that is, number one, I got out of that space for a reason.
Yeah.
Highly toxic chemicals, conversation, blow dryers, stimulation, everything, music, other like just so many things going on. And then already my mental space being like, I can barely walk outside right now. Mm-hmm. All I want is to feel clean. It was fine. Like, body showers were fine. Doing my hair was like, there was this huge disconnect. So I was just wearing hats. I started losing my hair, and then I went through that whole process. So it's just like this deep understanding that I have also been there, so that when you come in, anyone comes in, it's just like you are already like, let me just create this container so that you can arrive exactly as you are, and there is no shame or guilt or pressure or judgment or you have to be a certain way. No, you could come in and be like, I want to be completely mute, I don't even want to talk to you. That's totally fine. Like, that's totally fine. So I just appreciate you sharing that, because so many different walks of life, we're doing it alongside of each other, yet we're not talking about it a lot of the times.
And it feels lonely.
Yeah, it's isolating. Yeah. Period.
Nobody wants to talk about it.
No.
Because it's the dark underbelly of mental health, and what does that mean about you?
Something's wrong.
And I love that you understood that, because you had been there, you're able to have that empathy and hold space for people and create a cocoon or container to have that experience.
Yeah. Well, I'm really glad that you were able to feel those things.
Thank you for offering.
Absolutely. And be able to share that space. And I just appreciate you being able to share that side of things.
I appreciate you for being there.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Our next conversation that I feel like is just so potent and so powerful is us connecting through, me creating this beautiful Austin Affordable Wellness Guide, which is a lot of the reason why I was like, we need to get this podcast going, because to be able to talk to the practitioners that are in this guide. But you yourself, you and I connected because of your marketing background, having such a like solid lens for me to be like, oh, there's holes in my plan. Okay. And you were able to give me this opportunity to be like, oh yeah, I guess I should think about that, because we're going to bring in human design here, because that has been such a potent tool for us to work with, right?
Yeah.
So me being a 3/5 ego manifester, I am the dreamer, the download, the inspiration, okay, cool, I got the dream, I got the thing, that's the Austin Affordable Guide. From there, I see A, I see Z, great. Mm-hmm. Everything in between, I'm just like, whenever it comes and flows and whatever, great. I started that process, that was mid-November, and then you came in for your appointment, I believe it was beginning of December, right? Or was it November?
I don't remember now.
Whatever.
December.
What's time? What is time?
It's all pretend.
Yeah. It's okay.
Time is an illusion.
Yeah. So we're good.
Yeah.
So what ended up happening was you were speaking to the things that you were passionate about and all of that. And I was just like, okay, this could be worth a further conversation, because I know that I'm doing this alone right now. Mm-hmm. I'm having a very hard time doing this alone, trying to create something, and I would love to be able to push this out to the public and our community, yet I will not push myself to burnout. Right. So it was one of those things where I just was like, okay, this is who I am, and you telling me who you are and what your human design was. Not only have I used that as a tool to be able to say, okay, this is how we communicate, this is how we can connect, this is how we can continue to support each other, but I would love to know a little bit about like how human design has come in for you, what you've been able to notice like even in this dynamic, and what's been helpful.
Yeah. One of the first questions you asked me after I left that day, and I threw it out there to you, like, hey, I didn't know your human design either.
Yes, yeah.
I was like, hey, what do you think about, I'd love to help you out. And you were like, cool, I would love that. What's your human design? And I was like, oh my God, she gets it.
Praise be.
Oh my gosh, because I had learned about human design, oh gosh, I think it was back in 2020 when I first heard about it.
Same.
And I learned a lot about it, because I want to know the things, all the things. Yeah. So I learned and researched, but I didn't apply it. Knowing something and applying it, two very different things.
Totally.
For sure. It cannot help unless you apply it.
Yes.
So, yeah, I think I finally got to that point yet again where I was like, oh, this is why it didn't work. Because I'm not living in alignment with who I am. I was an orchid planting myself in a desert and wondering why I was withering. You're not in the right environment. Like, why does...
What a great analogy.
Like, why does this keep happening? Yeah. I don't know. Maybe look at your human design. So when you asked me about that, I was like, oh, yes. Like, let me go back and revisit this, because I know about my human design, but like, that was a good reminder that like, you're not living in alignment because you're not using that to tap into, to remind yourself of who you are and coming home to that. Well, I'm a manifesting generator. I'm a 1-3, and I'm emotional authority, with my secondary go-to being splenic. So like emotional, I will hear something and I will light up and I will be like, oh, this is amazing, you know, and all the things. And then if I don't sit with it for 24 to 48 hours and allow the splenic to come in, I can make really bad decisions. I'm really good at making really bad decisions, but that's how I learn. I learn by breaking things.
Yes.
I don't like the saying fail forward, because I'm like, wait a minute. If we're learning, we're not failing.
No.
If I ever hear that in a job or application, I am like,
not it for me.
Please shut up. I'm running away right now. I don't like that
Body
phrase.
shuts down.
Shut down immediately. Goodbye. Have a nice day. So, yeah, just talking about how heavily you rely on human design and your instincts and how we could possibly work together. I immediately went to ChatGPT because I use that as a tool. It's not my everything, but it's a good jumping off point. And I was like, here's my human design. Here's Gabrielle's human design. Please let me know how I can respect her human design and what I need to be good for my human design so that we can figure out a way to work together. Because I thought immediately, yes, but I was like, wait a minute, we need to figure this out.
Groundwork.
So amazing things can happen. And like, companies don't talk about human design. They don't look at their team and be like, how can we integrate this? And how can people work best together? And what is the best outcome for them? They're looking at the bottom line and how much productivity they can get out of people. And burnout, because productivity equals burnout. It doesn't equal sustainability, especially for women, because we were not designed to burn ourselves out. So just hearing you talk about building this out and then watching you walk it, not just talk about it, but like, hey, you know, I'm honoring my cycle. I'm honoring today I'm feeling depleted. I'm going to rest today. Oh, today I'm feeling lit up and energy, so I'm going to sprint. I'm like, fuck yes. Like, this is what I've been waiting for. You know? Oh, wait a minute. We don't have to do it the old way.
No, we changing the narrative, baby.
Yes, we are. And that's so powerful. It was such an aha moment for me of like, Gabrielle's building this whole movement and not expecting herself to burn the F out. You know the A to Z already. And we know that there are letters in between, but we are taking this piece by piece and titration.
Percolation.
Titulation. Sorry. Yeah, so using, you know, titration as kind of a methodology for working that doesn't equal burnout. And I was telling you, this guy was talking about, he helps people build businesses, and he was talking about, you don't need to know right now how to get from A to Z, and you don't have to sprint, because that's why most businesses fail. They don't fail because the business is a bad idea. They fail because they are burning themselves out
in the process
with all of those letters in between.
Oh, totally. Yep.
And I'm like, oh, yes,
well,
this
because
is amazing.
So much of the synchronicity and the different pieces of alignment and the magic that can sprinkle in those in-between parts. Like, I'm so about, like, I'm following numerology. I'm following all these different aspects because that is what has led me. Like, I mean, spirituality, we've talked about that too, but that is so infused in my existence at this point because of where I've been and my mental health and all of the things. And so to be able to say, okay, cool, I'm getting these messages right now, not only in my body, but from my homies around me that support me every day, that are like, girl, slow down. You know, I firmly believe that a lot of times some of those physical ailments, those physical things that show up is truly because we are not listening to our body. So it's like when I'm finding that, I'm like, oh my God, like my brain feels like it is melting, and like it's like that push that, again, because I'm still conditioned even from the beauty industry. Hustle, hustle, go. You're performing for other people. You have to say yes. Like, I have to say yes to myself. Stop.
Yeah.
Because what can come if I rest and I allow myself to just sink into this moment, take the day, go walk out in nature, be amidst other things, because when I go walk out there, who might I meet? Would there be another conversation that happens that's, oh, this now inspires me to do this or add this or create this other component, and then we can come into collaboration about it. And that has been so many times what has happened, right?
Yeah.
We see something, there's messaging on TikTok, there's messaging from this person, that person, the things that we create, and then we're like, oh, let's go back, let's shift this a little bit. And it's always going to evolve.
Yeah.
We are in this space of this, we talk about it, messy middle, right?
Yes.
Being able to honor this space where it's like, it doesn't have to be perfect. What am I doing with this podcast? Walking around and finding out. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
It's one of those things where I'm like, let's go.
I don't know.
This
Yeah.
gonna be Gucci. Whatever
Yeah.
happens, like, it's a matter of being able to say, like, I trust that this is what I'm supposed to be doing right now, and I don't need it to look a certain way. I know how I feel, so as long as I feel into that and it feels really good, then I'm like,
cool,
let's go.
Yep.
Because that's part of the magic. And again, with you being a manifesting generator, like, for those that don't know human design, please look into it. We are connected to somebody that is so potent here in Austin. Her name is Lindsay Means. She is an incredible educator around really creating an environment for you to understand your human design in a way that feels like really nourishing to your lived experience right now, and using it as a tool rather than being like, this is who you are. It's like, no, let's just explore it. But the ability to be able to utilize this tool and say, okay, hey, this is where my inspiration is, this is where my rest periods are, and then you being a manifesting generator, you have a motor, so you're literally just, okay, I know when I'm on, and I can go, and I can respond to that. I realize that in community and in collaboration is when I am more lit up, because when I am by myself, that's where I'm like, oh, I'm like an ambivert, because I really like people, but I also really like to rest. And then when it, like, human design dropped in, I was like, oh, those really deep, like, you're going at a snail's pace right now. That is, you need to hibernate.
Yeah.
You need to really recharge. And that just helped me be like, okay, I don't need to live in this box. I just need to listen. I need to listen to the wisdom of my body and stop with the brain of, again, coming back to hustle culture and all of the things. So I just think that's been such an incredible tool as we've continued to help build this out in a way that feels really structured, but also flow.
Yeah.
It's like having structure, but also honoring flow. I really don't think you can have flow without a little bit of structure. You know?
Oh, yeah.
It's
definitely finding that balance. Yeah. And I think our bodies will let us know when we're not living in an alignment with our human design. Totally. The body keeps the score. Yep. It will not lie to you, and it will not let it go. Yep. If you don't listen to it, it's going to get louder and louder, and you will I physically feel it.
Oh, like, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I am a generator. I have a motor, but I also have to listen to my body. I cannot sprint for days. I know that about myself. I cannot sprint under certain conditions. When, like, real big pressure is being put on me, or I'm in an environment that I'm not meshing well with people, I will burn out. I will not be, my motor won't go. I just won't go. I'll shut down. Yep. And I think a lot of us, like that, the nervous system regulation, like, we can go into fight, flight, freeze, fawn, fold very easily. And to me, that's a sign in my body that, like, something's wrong here. Something's way out of alignment. And I won't work that way anymore.
No. Yep.
So
I think it's so important. And I know that even just in connection with what we are going to continue to create, it's like, yes, we have this guide right now, but just to enlighten people that are maybe listening, this is a project. This is my baby right now. And to be able to invite you in with your area of expertise and you being open to sharing your gifts, it has been so incredibly important for me to also witness you in your, like, just wisdom and your passion and your creativity and all of that. And I also just want to say thank you. Thank you so much for all of that, because it is so powerful, again, when we can work in collaboration and the ability to say, like, okay, cool, like, you don't have to do this alone. You might have a really beautiful idea, but also you need support. You need a community around you that believes in that mission. And I think that's why it's been able to flow the way that it has. And I know that we have so many more conversations that we'll continue to dive into as we continue to go, because we can yap all day. We already have, like, so many tabs open at all times, literally.
And we are in the messy middle right now. Which, that's a beautiful journey to share. I don't think we talk about that enough and normalize it. That is part of the creative process. That's part of being an entrepreneur and being a generator and a manifest, like, getting to come alongside each other. And figuring out, like, maybe there's a projector or a reflector that's needed, and like, We definitely need an app builder. We need
Yeah.
someone.
Yeah. Yep.
Which, by the way,
Yeah.
if you build apps,
Pinned out there,
hit us up. You know, like, that comes back to not being afraid to ask for what we
Yes.
need.
Yep. Drop in, baby.
Drop in.
Drop us a line.
You know who you are. If this resonates with you.
Yeah.
What is your human design?
We'll start there. Send your application. Great.
We'll sit with it for 24 to 48 hours and get back to you.
I love it. But yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
It's just like...
It's so powerful.
Yeah.
When you allow the universe to bring things in, figure out if it's in alignment. Like, after I left the last job, everybody, friends, family, well-intentioned, not, you know, but like, well, what are you going to do next? Well, have you looked for a job? And I'm like, no. I don't know what's going to come next. And for a strategist, because that's what I've done for so long, that can be an oh shit moment too. Like, I don't know. I'm used to having plans for everything, but right now, for my own life, I don't have a plan. I'm in the ashes right now, and I have to be okay with that until it's time to rise again. And guess what? I don't know when that's going to be. And that can be a little uncomfortable. And I'm learning to sit with that. And once I'm ready, I'm going to reverse engineer the shit out of it. Because I'll never go back to what it was before.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like what you said earlier with being comfortable with being uncomfortable, and just like letting that be like, full fuel forward to say that I have full passion in what I'm doing, what I'm capable of, where my body and brain is taking me, and just being able to trust that. Trust that.
It's little pieces of building trust all the time with that titration technique. Like, you're teaching yourself that I can trust myself after self-abandoning for so long and it never serving me, and then me going back to doing that, you know, which I think we all kind of do.
We do.
To a certain point.
But now it gets to be different.
Yeah. 47 years of that is enough. Okay.
Bye. We're closing the chapter on that.
Yeah,
I think that's a beautiful place to just be able to say, as it resonates with those that are listening, it's like, we are here to continue to connect with you. Everything that, you know, the way that we're connected and anything that we have as resources will continue to be found on the pages that we share and all of that. But we have so much more to share in the future, and I'm so excited for our continued conversation, especially as this evolves. But I just want to say thank you. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for sharing who you are, what your journey has been like, because again, it can be vulnerable and it is very real and it is isolating, and I just am so looking forward to what we can continue to build together in this community and beyond, because there's so much to come, sister.
I know. Thank you for being who you are and allowing me to come alongside you.
Of course. Yeah, girl, we doing it.
We are.
Yeah. I love you.